Hey everyone, Cole here with Energy and Marketing. Just want to make a quick video showing you how to create a campaign group and campaigns in LinkedIn. So before you start creating campaigns, you should make sure that you have created all of the audiences that you need for your campaigns and set up proper brand safety exclusions. I'll make another video showing you how to do those, but just wanted to flag that before you dive in. You should also make sure that your pixel is installed on the website and that you have set up all of the appropriate versions that you'll want to optimize your campaigns for. Once you've set these items up, you can go to the advertising dashboard and click create campaign group. From here, you can give your campaign group a name. I recommend, in fact, I'm going to actually pull up the campaign group that I just made because I need to tweak the name that I gave campaigns. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this name. So I recommend using the following naming structure. So first, you can put retargeting. Sometimes I'll shorten it to RTG for short. Then, if you're going to use a group objective, which means every campaign within that campaign group is going to have the same objective, put that in the name as well. In our case, we're going to start by testing lead generation forms in all of the campaigns within this campaign group. So we used a group objective with lead generation as the campaign group objective for all campaigns within the campaign group. And we're going to actually use a campaign group level budget as well so that we can more easily allocate our retargeting spend at the campaign group level across all of the retargeting campaigns within that campaign group, giving it a 100 daily budget for now. And we'll start with manual bidding, which means we'll be bidding without CPCs in each campaign. We may end up switching to cost cap. I do not recommend using maximum delivery as it significantly increases your cost per conversion. So once you have set up your campaign group, you'll then need to go to campaigns. Well, select your campaign group first, then go to campaigns and create a new campaign. In our case, we've already created one, so we can use this as a starting point. So first things first, you give it a name. This campaign, I haven't totally decided what we want to do yet, what we want to do with this campaign yet. I think, so what I'll do is I'll get it a name that might change later. Retargeting, 90 days, 90-day visitors, USA. Why don't we say this is a client that's in the healthcare and care vertical, so we'll say 90-day visitors, and we'll go industry skilled. Then give it, mention your location targeting that you'll be using, give it a date, and then I always put IT at the end of my naming structure so that I know that it's ours. So, okay, a couple of things you gotta be careful about. First, by default, the location setting is going to be set to recent or permanent location. You'll want to switch this to permanent locations so that you're only targeting people who live in the location that you want to target. Recent will pull in people that are on vacation or were on vacation who knows how long ago. I just know from experience that this significantly increases your cost per conversion. You want to choose English as your profile language if you're targeting in English. Uncheck enable audience expansion. Super important. That will allow LinkedIn to expand targeting outside of the parameters that you put in place. And then last, you'll go ahead and click narrow and choose your target audience. So LinkedIn allows you a bunch of different criteria to use. First thing, you can upload customer lists. You can create lookalike is actually, I don't think you could use lookalike audiences anymore. It's been replaced by Predictive. So these are basically lookalike audiences you can build based on retargeting audiences or customer lists you upload into LinkedIn, and then third-party lists from places like HubSpot, or if you have a Google Sheets automation, which we do as well. We'll get into that in a moment. For retargeting, you can retarget based on company page, button clicks, or visitors, conversation and engagers, conversion API, aka people who converted pulling data from platforms like HubSpot or Salesforce, Conversion API, which allows you to pull data from platforms like HubSpot or Salesforce, document ad interactions, conversions, or audiences based on LinkedIn events, lead gen form interactors, single image ad interactors, video interactors or video views, and then finally website visitors or engagers. You also have the audience attributes, which are filtering criteria native to LinkedIn. These are the company demographics, education, job experience, and interest in traits categories. For company, you can filter by company category, company connections, which is basically a way of targeting people who are connected with people at the company. I believe that is how a company connection is determined. First degree connections of employees. Exactly. Yeah. So they're connected with employees at the company. People who follow a company, that's super useful if you want to target competitor company page followers. You can filter by growth rate, industry, which is obviously very important on LinkedIn. Specific companies, people who work at specific companies, rather, you can filter by company revenue and then also company size. Demographics, these are pretty straightforward. These are ways to filter based on age. I usually recommend excluding 18 to 24 and 55 plus. However, in our case, 55 to 65 is a strong target demo for us. So we're just going to filter for these ages. Going to add that as the criteria and then narrow, do that. Go back into audience attributes. So that's demographic filtering. You can filter by age or gender. Education, you can filter by school, field of study, or degrees. Job experience, this is useful as well. You can filter by the type of role that they perform for the company. In our case, we are probably going to be filtering people in human resources. So let's see if we can add that criteria as well. In fact, let's do that. And then I'm going to go back to company page and company filtering and see if we can do nursing homes and resident care, HR. So over 25 and human resources and nursing homes and residential cares are layering as we have right now. Important to layer in LinkedIn. LinkedIn will encourage you to target as broadly as possible. In my experience, that just doesn't work. So I would really recommend adding there like we have here. And then you can also target based on job experience, and subcategories of this are functions. The human resources function has already been added to our targeting. Job seniority, which allows you to filter for people of different seniority levels within an organization. the options you have available are unpaid, training, entry, senior, manager, director, VP, CXO. We'll come back to this in a moment. Member skills, so that's different skills that they might have. And human resources, maybe a skill. An example of a skill could be payroll. See, get all the payroll-related skills. There's tons of different member skills, so definitely encourage you to check those out. And then years of experience in their role. Finally, interests and traits. These are interest-based targeting criteria that LinkedIn allows you to use. First, there's membership of LinkedIn member groups. In my experience, this is one of the best strategies for targeting top-of-funnel leads on LinkedIn. I highly recommend trying this. For your vertical, you can type in a concept, let's say payroll again, and it'll give you tons of different groups related to that concept. Sometimes you can also target member groups of your competitors if you want to create a competitive campaign on LinkedIn. Interests, so these are different general product or service related interest groups. I think they're similar to the in-market groups that you would see on Google Ads. And finally, we have member traits. So these are just a sort of other types of demographic criteria you can target based on, like career changes, frequent contributors. With I find it is a strong filtering criteria for certain verticals. It also ensures that you're targeting people who actually use LinkedIn regularly, so that can be useful. Open to relocation. Some of these are more for, I think, staffing. Yeah, if you were trying to promote jobs on LinkedIn. The one that I use frequently is actually under devices. Device preference, desktop. I'm not going to use it now, but this is the closest thing that LinkedIn offers you to being able to filter for desktop device users. While LinkedIn doesn't offer you the ability to target people using certain devices, this filtering criteria allows you to target people who are more likely to use certain devices, increasing the percentage of impressions for different devices within your campaigns, depending on which option you choose. I like this filtering criteria because, in my experience, desktop users are significantly lower cost per conversion and have a significantly higher conversion rate than mobile users for B2B. It's one of the most impactful filters you can use in your campaigns, so important to test this in LinkedIn. And then finally, you can also exclude audiences. This is important for filtering out low-quality leads. Exclude job experience, seniority, unpaid training, entry. We like to also add a bunch of exclusion audiences that we custom make for campaigns. Things like, did they visit the login page or the careers page, so that we don't pre-target low intent users. Then you choose your ad formats. So if you choose the campaign group level conversion goal, you can only choose a few different types of ad formats. Those are images, carousels, videos, and documents. I think this is also determined by the type of conversion goal you choose. In our case, the lead gen forms are only compatible with these 4 types of ads, so you need to keep that in mind as well. Make sure you pick a format that you want to use before you save as well. Otherwise, it will revert the changes that you've put in place, which isn't the end of the world for us because I'm going to redo this anyways, but still important to keep in mind. And another thing that's important to note is if you do revert your changes, you have to make sure you disable the enabled audience expansion And then later on, also the LinkedIn Audience Network, which will be enabled by default if you try to create a campaign with conversion goals as the goal. So now we can switch to document. For account tracking parameters, you'll want to set up UTMs at the account level for account ID at UTM source equals LinkedIn, and then medium paid social. And then at the campaign level, you can set up UTM underscore campaign level UTMs. So underscore campaign equals retargeting dash 90 dash days and UTM underscore content. Set up what types of ads we're running to. Underscore content equals document dash PPGA, which is just the type of guide we're running this for. Like I said, make sure that LinkedIn Audience Network is disabled. I would double check that a million times. If that's enabled, it will spend your entire budget in 5 minutes. And then finally, you'll come down to the bidding section where you can set a cost per click and assign additional conversions to your campaigns. We're going to go with all conversions except these. And that's it. The next step is just creating ads, which I'll make another video on. Yeah. If you have any questions about creating LinkedIn campaigns, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, if you found this video valuable, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.